Yeah, I do like the Wyvern pickup though. You might argue the support duo of Phoenix Wyvern may look a bit weak, but it still does allow some decent combos in team fights, like the Winter's Curse into a Phoenix Egg. Can be super effective as the egg will just generally explode as the curse is about to end. TNC, they'll get March the Oracle. So now you've got a way of dealing with that Winter's Curse. You could just false promise the target that has been cursed, and
Hmm.
they should be able to survive through it.
Yeah, not only that, but even adds an offensive tool here as well. So you have zero risk throwing your PA in.
Hmm.
It just enables that aggressive playstyle for TNC. March loves this hero. Like they even last pick it for him, right? If there's a Faces Void. So it makes sense enough. You still wonder about the Lena, whether or not they're gonna last pick a Tim's here. It's starting to feel like that isn't the case. So I think we're seeing the Tim's Lena in play. 032 Spectre comes out. So it's been a while for that one, right?
Yep,
I think we've seen only one other match for the Spectre, and
pretty much.
if if there's a way to break that Magnus initiation, Spectre said you haunt, you can't blink, you have to be on top first. But if the game stalls out, I wouldn't say it's clear cut here, as you have to deal with Magnus RP that is going to be relevant throughout, but you have a better chance with a Spectre. It does scale really good. You can punish the PA, especially if you do go for a Blade Mill buildup here, is actually not too bad for the spec. Maybe third item or something that's value fifth item filler, but you can definitely do that. Really makes their timings a bit interesting though. You don't have, say, the Zeus that comes in here to give you the global strat, so you can't quite play as fast, and you also kind of limit the opportunities with the egg as you don't have a natural egg combo
Okay.
coming out here. It's going to be too late to get something, maybe a Mars, but it feels like it's not going to slot in there. So have to watch out for that team fight potential. It's not as amazing. It takes a little bit more to get a Winter's Curse and egg together.
Yeah, okay. Final ban out, 032. Looks like they are going to just focus in on perhaps the offlane pickups of TNC. It is starting to look like maybe it is going to be an offlane Magnus for KP.
Mm-hmm.
They are
Yeah.
still just
So,
focusing on what appears to be the offlane 032. They got rid of the Timber, the Bat Rider.
hmm.
It's just so
I think they've.
flexible though with that the Lena being
Mm,
there.
yeah, it's way open. 032 will actually have to show their flex first. So we talked about the Doom maybe going mid.
Yep.
It's going to be hammered in by their next pick, which gives TNC that leeway with their own flex pick to kind of toss it around. So on that end, with the draft, it's harder for 032 to close it out. They just take out the Necrophos, of course, the Reaper site. You love to point it out, but not going to be there to rip through that Spectre early. So you get a little bit more survivability, a little bit more leeway there to live through. But TNC, I think, hmm, I don't know if they're really worried about any of their matchups. It's not like any of their lanes look bad, no matter what the outcome is. I think you just start to perhaps look for. I'd say Zeus should be banned here, just to take out that Haunt Spectre, Haunt Thunder Gods. They do take out the Invoker instead, which kind of does the same thing with Sunstrike. So just getting rid of some combinations there. What will they pick though? Like, where are you putting that Doom here?
That's the question. They may go for another mid lane here for Nico. We saw Nico on the SF before, just the other day. I feel
Hmm.
like it might fit here if they did want to go down that SF route. No, they
Okay.
do bring out the
Okay.
Zeus, so global strat is upon us.
Yep. Straightforward, right? Like
Hmm.
you have Haunt, you just press R, then press R again, and then you should win. Depending on the Spectre's build, I'd say drums is the go-to if you want to play that offensive. Got to play with those timers. Very important for the spec to escalate through those early kills. TNC, they see the mid lane matchup. They've got to think, okay, maybe we can get away with the lean mid. We can go with a stronger pause four here.
Ooh,
No, okay.
I like it.
Storm comes out. It's really nice. It lanes pretty decently against Zeus. The key thing is you have follow up for that RP. You have a way to scale in the late game, right? expect the Ags build up here for Armel at some point, and then you're all set with control. There's a lot of pressure here on Ninja Bogey to land those Winter's Curses, Bach as well to land the Doom. Gonna be tricky. These are very slippery heroes in TNC. It's gonna be a great back and forth. 0-3-2. Again, they haven't looked too hot, but there have been signs of life. We'll see if they woke up on the right side of bed today and give TNC probably their toughest opponent so far, a taste of their meds and give them a run for their money here.
Be a fun one for our game number 1. 0-3-2, pretty desperate to get some points up on the board. TNC, they want their first place back in the group stage. We'll see if they can get that done this series. I like the draft from TSC quite a lot. If Armel if he doesn't struggle too much up against Nico Zeus, it is hard to see how 0-3-2 is going to be able to fight against them.
Yeah.
We should transition now to the main screen.
The key thing for that Zeus is, of course, what we always talk about, right? The Ags timing is going to be super important to enable that denying play. I think you have to look at the supports here of 0-3-2 to get Nico that space. You mentioned it, but it's been a slight struggle for Nico down mid. And again, Nico and Matthew are both fairly fresh at this tier of play. This is like a big learning experience for them. Should start to gel together, and we start to hope for that for the sake of 0-3-2. With this pause time, Mike, I want to take this opportunity to tell you something. There's a bit of chatter in chat. There was someone who highlighted a message, and I saw it at the right time. It said, "MLP is Pinoy. MLP stands for Michael Lang Pogi." So there you are. You're an honorary Pinoy now as well, Mike.
What does MLP stand for?
Michael Lang Pogi. That means Michael is the only handsome one.
Oh,
for some reason. Yeah.
Well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there you go. Honorary Pinoy.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Still gotta visit.
We've been casting a lot of this.
Yeah, we've been casting the SEA Dota for ages now. How many Filipino games have we cast? It's been a lot. I may as well be Filipino at this rate. Still yet to visit the country though. I think I was telling you the other day, John, but I do really want to see what the Philippines is like.
It's a lovely place. The food is great. The people are great, except for me, of course. But I'm sure the boys, any of these people would give you a good time.
I'd be avoiding you at all costs, John. Wouldn't even tell you I'm in the Philippines. I'd go meet some actual Filipinos that can speak the language properly. Yeah.
It's for the best, Mike. It's for the best. Still,
I don't want to be embarrassed in front of all my Filipino friends in the Philippines.
Yeah, you'd probably pick up the accent a bit better than I do as well. So, there's that. You never know. Still, we get to it. 0-3-2 TNC. It's a rumble in the jungle, The Trilla in Manila, but not quite. More like the Manila versus Cebu lineup, I think. So, now that I mentioned that, chat's probably going to go at it again. Hopefully not.
Could you stop starting wars in the chat?
I don't know what it is. Like, I just say I'm from, a Bisaya-speaking region, then chat goes off. They start... Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just fun. If you've ever been to a Filipino internet cafe, you would know that's exactly how it goes. People were just yelling profanities while playing Dota. That was the good old days. Dota 1... You go on the client, you ask a dude, hey, you ask very nicely if you could join in. When you actually play, you mock them. That's just how it is. That's the way it should be. It's just fun that way, when you can give crap to somebody and nobody really takes it personally. You're all friends at the end of the day. Oh, yeah. Definitely. And, the high fives coming out for Gabby and Bach. Yeah, Bach obviously very happy to see the PA mag. Bring back some memories from Natsumi. Speaking of Natsumi, he took a bit of harass there from KP on the mag, but be all right. Natsumi gives him a tip over. Says thank you very much for that. It's into the laning stage. Yeah, this dual lane coming out for TNC. Magnus and Lina, that's a really hard one to lane against. You've got this insane reach with Lina. You've got a nice stun. You've got this shockwave slow that could set up for that stun. And just really tanky frontliner. Might be hard to exert that influence, and that's one weakness of the Spectre, right? Laning phase is not amazing for the hero. KP
I mean, they're trying to harass them out early on, the side of 0-3-2 with the Splinter Blast and everything else, and they kind of have to. Because if you don't get aggressive, that means Tims is going to be able to just spam LSA and just keep auto-attacking, and that means KP will just be able to deny every creep off Natsumi if there's no pressure being applied here from Ninja Boogie. Even when he tries to, as you can see, Natsumi will get harassed down again. He's actually going to turn around here, back onto Tims, but does think better of it, and will get salved up. But that's just going to keep happening. And especially once you have the Fiery Soul available on Tims, and he has that added attack speed, it becomes that much worse.
Yeah, you're down to salve now. You're going to have to be really cautious with your regen. Be scared of this level 2 spike from KP. If he gets the skewer, it's going to be hard to pull out still. Taking a look at that mid lane, Nico and Armel. Two, Thunder-based heroes, Zeus versus Storm, up against each other. It's fairly even. Like, Nico can shove the lane out. He did go for Arc Lightning with a value point and Static Field. So he's just focusing on that steady farm. But Armel, if you get too close, he can punish with a Static plus Overload. Have to watch that spacing. And level 6 timer is key. I'd say Zeus at 5, though, has a pretty good set of burst. That's something Armel has to respect before his 6. Gonna be down to the supports to maybe secure those power runes. Very important for both sides to get that first one. And we'll just see how free the lanes are to allow that. Like up top, Matthew and March just tagging each other. Matthew getting a nice D-ward off to free up his pull camp. That might make it a bit trickier for Gabby to find his farm. But speaking of Gabby, he's up there. 11-2. You're not seeing as much pressure here from Bach than you'd expect from the Doom.
You aren't, but Matthew. He get jumped on by Gabby and March and will decide to just back out. You look back towards that bot lane, Natsumi is really starting to cop it here from Tims. Does go for the Fiery Soul at level 2, and again, once he has that, LSA just keeps spamming it over and over again, and it's impossible to lane up against this position 4 laner. And in all honesty, he doesn't even need to go Dragon Slave. He may as well just save his mana pool and keep using just LSA.
Yeah, and they're just applying that harassment. It's been such a slow start for Natsumi. He's not too far behind, but you just worry about every time those spells land. The damage is too much.
It is way too much. Boogie going to be back at it with the Arctic Burn, but again, it's very limited as to what he can do. Back to that mid lane, Armel is having way too much of a free time. Like you've got a Zeus versus Storm matchup. You kind of expect that the Zeus should have maybe a tiny advantage, but Armel has been just so aggressive in this lane. He's CSing very, very well, and Nico is not able to apply any form of pressure on him.
Yeah, you're going to need some relief from a support to help out with this cause. If he hits his 5 slightly earlier, there's no real kill potential because of this Arc Lightning build, but you can apply more laning pressure. Just be careful about that level 6, because Armel is not going to be scared to jump you. They don't manage to grab the rune, though, so that does at least keep it a bit more breedable for Nico, but it's just going to be a bit of a struggle. A wave behind is not a good spot for a mid player.
No. That's the most unfortunate thing about this lane is Nico, if he uses the Arc Lightning, he'll push out the lane. But all that's going to mean is Armel can farm the wave faster and then go and just take jungle stacks. Which is exactly what he's been doing, is stacking up this small camp so he can just take it with the level 2 Static Remnant. And it's just going to allow him to escalate that much faster. Nico can't really do too much about it. You'd almost expect a support rotation at this point to help him out, but they don't have the supports to rotate. They have Phoenix and Wyvern. They're not exactly those kind of roaming supports.
Yeah, it's just really difficult. And you see Ninja Bogey, he's even forced to
tried.
TP, but it's...
First blood, it'll go over to Tims, a very, very easy one. That'll get Tims his brown boots and his wand. Natsumi, it's not like he got much free space out of that. He got maybe a couple last hits, but now Tims is back. He's stuck around, so he's going to get hit by the LSA, and he's not going to die, but he's just going to take a crap ton of harassment.
Yeah, this is really not a smooth start for Natsumi. I would say go for a lane swap. It's just I don't expect top lane to be any better, and it's really just down to those two supports. Like you mentioned it, but Winter Wyvern and Phoenix are not the most aggressive. They don't have the most presence. They do with the right laning partners, but you're talking about a Spectre. It's just the weakest time for Natsumi. I think he's got to get ready for the jungle, and his supports have to set up there. The issue is, there were some good oms, but Ninja Bogey does have the sentries to at least clear the triangle, so they're going to have that area to play with. But look at Tim's, just ready to camp those power runes again.
He is. Mel, gonna get a nice DD. Tip out to Tim's. I'll tell you what, the supports of TNC have been doing such a great job this game. Especially March, because March, every single game, he gets the triple stacks going in this area of the jungle. And it's always allowing Mel to just get so much further ahead than the opposing mid laner. Whereas if you look at Nico, he doesn't really have the same stacks going. There are some in the triangle, but March is now scouting them out, and Armel's going to come ahead and just go steal them.
Yeah, that's not good. Just maximizing the time of those opposite supports, escalating, and Armel now, he's feeling great. He's overtaken box farm, and that's a doom. You always love to point out the devour gold you get. If you fall behind in the hero, it's not a good sign for your team. Armel gonna have an easy start into his first null, into that Kaya, and once you've got that, you can certainly start to pile on the damage.
That's coming. And the bot lane, Natsumi, gonna get vortexed up by Armel, and he is gone. I don't know about this strat here from 032. Like, Natsumi already had a really tough laning start. He's got nothing to farm with but a Wraith Band and a Gloves of Haste. And they've just kind of left him behind. Like, you've got to give him a better start than that.
Yeah, you do. I think the recovery here is going to be Haunt Thunder Gods. It's just that it's going to be hard to find those pickoffs at first. You have to settle with supports with that play. You can punish Mort, you can maybe punish Tim's. A bit complicated, but you can start to build up there. That's not how you want that Thunder Gods, though. No Haunt. It's just for scouting. It's not a good sign if your first Thunder Gods is just for scouting.
No, it is not. This goes to show how paranoid Nico is feeling right now on this Zeus. I mean, you look at his net worth. He is a full 1k behind Armel. And Armel has not taken those stacks yet either. In fact, those stacks may as well be for Gabby at this point, because Armel just doesn't need it. He'll start escalating out of control now in this storm. I don't see really any way to stop him. Unless you commit the Doom on Armel, which you happily would, but you've got to get in range to do it. So Bok, he's TP'd down, he wants to get this done. Armel is not going to be able to zip out of time, and Natsumi is going to haunt in, and this should be a very, very nice kill. Armel will just sit there and take the hits, and Bok will be the one to claim that kill.
That's the big one. They find the punishment for Armel. Natsumi gets to use that first haunt in a meaningful way, so you get a little bit of gold back. 1 to 2 now, their first kill. Still need a little bit more time to boil up, and it's a long cooldown on Doom and Haunt, so you can't get it out as often as you'd want. This is giving space towards Gabby. Got the Empower, so he's been clearing out those stacks. He is rushing the Hood of Defiance first, so they want to play it safe. They want to have a way of mitigating that magic damage. Even KP going into the Defiance, actually, he's going for the upgrade. So they're just really ensuring that this burst strat won't kill off Gabby. And once you've got those items up, I think you will really have to watch out for that PA. That's going to line up with, say, the level 10, level 12 spike. And that's when Gabby should be comfier to jump in.
Gabby just took all those stacks with the Empower. He's had a real nice influx of gold now, just behind Armel on the Storm. Looks like he is going to go straight for the Desolator. Obviously, no need for the Battle Fury this game with the Empower up. KB going to gift Gabby a nice DD rune, and he's just going to farm that much faster now. Just great teamwork from TNC, John. Look at all these stacks.
Yeah, it's the dream. If you're playing that PA, that is the dream. Gabby can be very happy. He's got that Hood of Defiance. He's building into the Desolator. Love to see it. Once you've got that Deso up, again, probably going to line up with the level 12 timing. So if 032 want to play fast, Their time to punish is in that downtime. Before the Dezo's up, for that toolkit's done. Maybe when the next haunt is up, they can look to make a play with a smoke, but TNC, their spacing now is on point. They're going for that
Armel
bot tower.
sees Nico, zips in, gotta be a bit careful as the curse does fly out, but now the Fortune's End. Armel still very low, but will be able to zip out. They do lose March, and the Splinter Blast, no. It's not gonna be there onto Armel. We are gonna have a quick pause out of Natsumi. I might be experiencing a bit of lag, but looks like he is okay to go. Because they keep chasing bot lane. They have Doom up in 2 seconds. No, it looks like that's going to be it. Everyone from TNC, they're done with this. They'll get back to the farm game.
Yeah, there's a smoke out in 032. They're looking for that Doom opportunity.
They got there. It's going to be Tim's, but that's not the target they want to jump on. Looks like they are going to be left with no choice, however. But at the very least, you don't need to commit the Doom. Nico will be able to get himself a free kill on that Zeus. Well, 0-3-2, they do kind of even out the scoreboard a little bit. In fact, they take a lead, 3-2, and the net worth is still the way of TNC, but that is mostly due to all the stacks that they were taking on that PA. So not really too big of a deal on 0-3-2.
Nah, they still hold on to their objectives as well. Tier 1 bot holding steady. You're just not seeing TNC manage to run down these towers. So 032 has a really safe spot in that bot jungle to get that farm for Natsumi, to get that space out for Bok and for Nico. And Nico is going to go for the Yules first, just to give himself some security. You can see Bok trying to pump that Doom, but not really fully committing. You know he'd want to make a move on Armel, but it's not a guarantee when March is around.
No, it is not. March. Looks like he'll probably get started on getting more stacks out as he does get a nice D ward off. 0-3-2. Gonna hang around that bot lane and try to defend this tier 1 tower. TNC have been a bit late in terms of trying to take this tier 1, but it looks like they might be ready now with the RP up on KB. They've got to be a bit cautious because there is a blink now on Bok, so he's going to be able to really close the gap for that Doom. TNC, they're actually going to back off, so still not able to go after that tier 1 bot tower. Just going to limit Gabby in terms of where he can farm.
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity. There's another scouting Thunder God, so again, they just want information here, 032. And in the end, if you're playing a farm game, like you do have Empower, you do have ways of escalating the PA faster, Natsumi will still appreciate the space. It's a Spectre. It doesn't necessarily want to be fast. It's steadily farming. It's not fast, though, but you are getting space out. So 032 is going to be happy enough. I think they might want to make use of Bok, but he's just kind of camping top, looking for someone to misstep. Not going to find that opportunity, so TNC is also playing it right. Like, they're probably just going to wait for KP to get a blink down the line, and it's still a ways off because he went for the pipe first. Before then, they do farm more efficiently, and they do keep themselves in.
Bot lane, going to be able to get the stun off onto Tim's. Tim's trying to survive, but actually March is here. He'll be forced to commit the Doom now onto March, and Natsumi will be forced to haunt in, but they actually can't finish either of them off. March, that's great play from him, John. He gets the Doom forced, he gets the haunt forced, and TNC now know they can go for the fight. So Armel will go for a zip in. Doesn't quite hit onto Ninja Boogie, but does get the Vortex off, and now the egg will be forced down. But here comes Bok with a 2-man stun, and that's going to allow the egg to explode. But they can't follow up. So that means Armel, once again, is going to zip in aggressively, and Bok is easily going to go down. A double for Gabby. They will not be able to catch out the Phoenix TP, but that is going to allow TNT to finally finish off that bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that's a massive misplay from 032. Bok, I get why you do March. They miss out in both kills. They get punished. There's a bit too much patience from Ninja Bogey as well. He did not immediately drop the curse. I believe he didn't have vision in the tree line, so it's unfortunate. But TNC, they built up that 2k lead. So they're starting to get there. They're clearing out that bot jungle now with that tower they've taken out. 0-3-2. Now they have to reset and wait. They need the next haunt. They need the next egg. It's gonna be a while. Their lineup is constrained by those cooldowns. Whereas TNC, they haven't even thrown KP's RP out. They just don't need it yet.
No, they haven't. Speaking of KP, he's got the Piper. So a much tankier side for TNC now is KP. He's gonna wait. He is not scared at all to just wait out that RP, and they're gonna go onto Ninja Boogie now. Bok's gonna show up, going onto Armel, but they don't have the Doom up. KP now gets a 2-man RP off, and will be able to skewer away. They want to try and fight this 0-3-2, but it looks like they're just unable to keep up. Maybe Armel, he's been left behind, but no, he can just zip away. Everything is fine.
Oh boy. They smoke up as well. There's a DD. They could try to make a surprise move back in. That's massive for Gabby, or go for a Roach play.
Armel, gonna try and bait for his team, perhaps. At mid lane, Nico, he'll show up. But the rest of TNC are indeed rushing for a Roshan play. Gabby is taking it so darn quick with that double damage up. Looks like Gabby should be just fine to finish it. There is going to be no contest.
No. I mean, you would have loved to have Haunt right now, but you just don't. Without those timers being up, 3 Aegis going the way of TNC, Gabby, more leeway to play in front, building into Satanic Rush now. So just wanting the lifesteal, wanting the status resist in case he does get doomed or controlled up. It's going to be very difficult to keep that PA locked in, and once that item's up, you're going to have to watch it. They really just have not punished Gabby. He's 3-0. You'd expect him to at least get picked off with a Zeus in the game with all the magic damage here, but they just haven't found that room to chase the PA.
I mean, it's just great that he went for that Hood of Defiance, though, right, on the PA. Just understanding the BKB has no value because he can still get doomed through it. So you go for the much cheaper option in the Hood of Defiance, and that way you still just passively block out all that magic damage without having to waste BKB charges. Very effective stuff here from Gabby.
Yeah. It reminds me of, I remember the first time we saw that play, it was coming from like, wasn't it Envy way back, who used to build like Hood of Defiance on like everything for a while, and everyone laughed at him? I remember that like 2 years ago from EE-sama. And it's good to see that still, you know, it's got its value. And Gabby, well, the towers don't stand long with that Desolator, Mike.
Yeah. Speaking of Jackie, by the way, he's in the next series. Armel gonna go for a zip in. Looks like Tim's is gonna be caught on the Lena, and there's your Doom out with the Winter's Curse now. Gabby, luckily not hitting too hard onto KP. They're gonna focus down that egg, and it is gonna go down in time. Meanwhile, March had to false promise himself, but he's definitely gonna die through this. And it looks like TNC will not be able to turn around and go for a team fight. Well, maybe now they will. Armel getting a Vortex off. That Wyvern, Ninja Boogie gonna save Nico with the Cold Embrace, but March, Fortune's End gonna hold him down, and Gabby does clean him up. Now jumping back onto Bok. Gabby does not want to stop, as he does have the Aegis up and running, and ready to get his second life. Armel zipping through the stun, back into Bok now, and well, Bok is falling low. They want to try and escape before Gabby does respawn. Still Sunray up, but Armel giving more vision into the dagger of Gabby. Back on Natsumi. He's a tanky boy, and Bok gonna jump in for the stun once again, but Gabby is not dissuaded. He really wants Natsumi, and Tims has had enough of waiting. He will just give the Laguna. And Gabby, he'll get what he wanted in the first place. Does end up being a 4-for-4.
Yeah, ends up being 6-9 now on the kill board as well. You do manage to punish Natsumi. Yeah, it's nice, right?
Nice.
Aegis is expended, but you're going to be happy anyways, Gabby. Good use of that second life, finding those kills, and
oh, Bok, he's going to get blown up. Ninja Boogie tried to Cold Embrace, but does it to himself, and that means Gabby should be able to get himself another kill. Moving forward now, understanding these are just free bodies to take. He'll go on to Nico, who does have a Ghost Scepter. But Gabby wants to dive tier 3 towers, and Nico is going to get shredded.
Oh, man.
Gabby's out of control now.
Yeah, that's where you play PA, Mike. You want to feel like a god. You jump those tier 3s. You don't get hit. And they just melt them. 4K lead now. 8K lead now for TNC. A massive start for them. 0-3-2. I mean, we saw what happens, right? If the Winter's Curse and the Egg are on top, with that Doom, you can find something. They just need to be in a better position to take that out. They need more farm here. The big thing is that Natsumi is just not quite ready. His farm is actually right behind Armel, not too far. So considering that start, our Spectre is doing fine. It's just, you need more than just a Manta. The Diffusal is going to be next, and that can help the cause, but even Nico right now, we talk about Ag's timing. We're 21 minutes in, he's just starting the Ags. It's been a slow start for the Zeus. They need to pick up that pace somehow, and maybe play a bit safe, but TNC, they just keep smoking up, Mike.
Why not? You're this far ahead. You know you can take any fight you want. And all their ultis are available. Matthew, they get caught out by Tims. He does get spotted, and Armel will go for a zip in, but instead they found a better target. They found Bok.
Oh,
Ninja Boogie. They saw ya. Sentry gonna be dropped. That Shadow Amulet not gonna save him. And Gabby will send him back to the graveyard.
ooh.
TNC are looking for that mid-tier 2 tower now, it seems.
Yeah, it's a good time for it. Gabby has the Satanic, Mike. Satanic, Deso, Hood of Defiance. How do you stop the PA at this point? He's even going for the Sands just for even more status resist. You're not going to be able to lock this guy down.
Nope, absolutely not. That T2 tower, I mean, even without creeps, it just doesn't last very long. The backdoor protection now going to kick in, but here come the creep wave. Looks like TNC, they'll let the creeps do the work. They don't want to finish it off too fast.
Yeah.
Actually, nice timing
Perfect
as well, because
game
there was a
sense.
smoke.
Yeah, I don't know how they figured that one out, but they pulled back at the perfect time, and this smoke not going to amount to much. They should take this opportunity to get D wards off, although there aren't many offensive wards. Plant some more defensive, although Bok.
Oh no, great game sense, gonna zip out. They've been missing for such a long time now, you know there's smoke somewhere. And well, the Thunder God's Wrath is generally used before you smoke to get some vision, but they use it afterwards. And I suppose that just ensures you don't get counter smoked.
Yeah,
It does mean you just wasted 30 seconds for no reason.
and you don't have that Haunt, Thunder God's Rat combo. In fact, we haven't really seen that combination in play. It's been tough for 0-3-2. There's still some potency here. They can still maybe fight in, but I mean, it's difficult when you see Armel and he has 20 stacks in the Bloodstone already. Just not dropping since picking it up.
It's rough. Gabby's going for that basher up next on the PA, and once you have that basher up, it's very hard to escape from this PA, and I just don't see it happening. Tier 2 top tower, it's going to go down. TNC picking up another objective. They can go ahead and take the mid tier 2 if they want. It's quite low, but it seems as though they're more than happy to just keep the net worth gap increasing and maybe just wait out the next Roshan. There's just no rush for TNC.
Oh, absolutely no rush. They've got control here. There's another smoke, though, from 0-3-2.
Gabby's going to break the smoke with the blur. Bok rushing in for a Doom attempt. He'll have to Doom KB, but Gabby is in the back, and he already kills off Ninja Boogie. Now going back in. They've used the egg, marching a spot of danger, trying to get out of that egg range, but Armel even zipping in now onto Nico. He goes Scepters up, trying to just survive the Storm Spirit, but he really can't. Meanwhile, Bok on the other side gets taken out by Gabby. They keep going into KP, gets a big RP off, and that'll hold them all down. Natsumi, he'll Manta, he'll try to run, but I don't think there's any way out of this as Gabby takes down Ninja Boogie again. That'll be a dieback, and he's on an ultra kill, looking for a rampage, and he will get it. Oh, TNC, they're on a roll today. Gabby,
Oh boy.
what do they slip into this man's coffee?
Plays something strong. That Merienda must have been really good, Mike, because they're all on point. Into the high ground. Gabby is building into the nullifier. You cannot stop this guy. I don't think he even popped the Satanic once. It's just there for the status resist purely. And without the Doom, without the Haunt, they do have Thunder Gaunts to try to hold it back, but the damage the Zeus does isn't enough.
Mel is looking for more targets. They'll drop him low, but with that Bloodstone, he'll heal up quite quick. TNC, tier 3 tower, that'll be enough for them. They still have a Roshan to go for in 10 seconds. It's a very surgical play out from TNC. Getting all the timing right.
Yeah, just not giving any room for 032 to find errors, to bounce back in. I'm trying to think of a way for them to come back. I think they really are starting to rely on Ninja Bogey. So the Winter's Curse has to land on a big target, get the 4v5 after, and you can win. But that's a lot of pressure on the support Winter Wyvern. Ninja Bogey has to stand further back to maximize that.
What of Atos? Not going to hold down Armel. He's got the Lincoln Sphere up. Nullifier now available on Gabby. So he decides better off not going for the Basher, but the Nullifier. And I tend to agree with that. I think it's going to be very, very effective. And on top of that, John, he's looking for an Aegis.
Yeah. You're going to be hard-pressed to stop this. Now, you do have Thunder Gods here from Nico. Maybe guesses it, but it melts too fast. Like, look at the damage from Gabby. It's just ridiculous.
It is. That's PA gaming for you. Well, gonna zip in. Does take the Aegis. Gabby doesn't really need it anyway. He'll take the cheese for himself, and that'll give Gabby 3 lives because he does have the Satanic and cheese now. Even gets a repair kit just in case this game turns later on.
Love to see it. You know, just ironic. Going to TNC, I'm sure 032 would love it, but not quite finding it yet. Still, they're trying to farm. Natsumi's trying to go for that Basher. He does have the Diffusal. You would love to have your level 20 talent, but man, you're just not progressing fast enough. So you'll have to settle at 16. And TNC, Tim's.
He's gonna go on to Tim's, gets a stun off, and Natsumi will haunt him. And Tim's actually... Oh, KP! Oh, he gets a 3-man RP off now. Back into Gabby. He's put him in the blender. Oh, they're going to throw the egg out. Can they get it off in time? No. No, they cannot. And Tim's, he just stands back and laughs at them. Oh, KP
man.
to the rescue.
Oh, TNC, you gotta slam it out like that as well. 032 can't even find the pause for Lina. And now with the Guardian Greaves up, I don't think you ever will. That was massive commitment. Bach is holding on to that Doom for so long. Like, I get there are bigger targets, but when you're 18k behind, when you're 7 to 21, you should take what you can get. Another missed opportunity that just opens up possibilities here for TNC. Like, the respawns are short, so they're going to be back up for the next one. Doom is still there, but you know TNC is feeling confident over this.
They are. 19k net worth lead. Dota Plus is at 96%.
Oh man. You take a look at Armel, Mike. He's working towards that Ags in the Storm. So you're going to have RP into the mini black hole as well. I'm not sure how you're going to fend this off if you're 032.
KP, he's in a spot of danger. Team will be there to back him up, and Armel just zipping straight in, getting the Vortex off onto Nico, and Cappy with the Nullifier just blowing him up. They do get the Doom off, however, but Gabby is going to have the false promise to be able to turn back around and keep this fight going, but he needs some help. He's taking too much damage. They'll try to heal him up. Gabby back in there. He gets a double kill now, and he's back up to full HP and full mana, looking towards Bach, who's trying to survive. There's your Winter's Curse, but Gabby on a triple again, jumps behind and gets Nick on the dieback. Now an Ultra. Can he get another Rampage? No, he'll be responsible. In fact, KP trying to set him up. Natsumi now being slowed up. The Rod of Atos. Gonna give a chance for Natsumi to get out. But Armel looking to jump back in. And that'll be it. They'll go for the racks instead. The nice responsible play. into the mid-racks.
They don't have Doom. They do have Egg if they can somehow play here.
Oh, RP not gonna land from KP. He messed that one up, but Natsumi's still in big trouble. He gets a cold embrace off from Ninja Boogie, but can he make it back to the fountain? They commit the Egg, but it might mean nothing because Gabby is gonna go for it. They'll get the Aegis off Armel. But this game looks to be very over as Bok does go down. Gabby on his 16th kill. They'll call the GG. Gabby 16-0-9 on the PA. What a performance.
Oh man, and man, that is sending a message, right? 032. We know Natsumi loves the PA. We know Bok loves the mag on the off, and way back when they were in Android, they used to give Boomy it a lot, but TNC, they sent the message, Mike. They were like, you guys love this, we're gonna run it first. And they had all the counter picks. They had the Winter Wyvern, not quite enough. 032, they've been off to a rocky start. TNC's a tough opponent. They've got to step up to the plate if they want to start climbing up. Game 2, they've got to change up that plan. But TNC, man, you can see it. They're not making it easy here, Mike.
Man, you gotta give props to March as well, right? Like, I realize we were really focused in on Gabby because he does end up 16-0-9. But in the earlier stages of the game, you look at how March plays the jungle, how he stacks up everything for Gabby, keeps him safe, doesn't let him die, saves his teammates all the time with the false promise. A lot of that win is due to Gabby. And you look at the win probability in the graph afterwards, John. Even with the draft, apparently they already were at 55-60% for 032 just by draft. But again, props to March. He really does play a fantastic position 5. With that, we'll go to the break. We'll come back and game number 2 should be getting started in about 10 minutes. We'll see you then.